I played every single Pokemon game. Every single one that came out, I've played them. Because I'm definitely a professional now, I decided to rank them from my least favorite one to my favorite one. Who asked? Nobody asked, but I decided to do this just because, I have time to waste.
Huh?
This list isn't about which Pokemon is the best, but definitely about which one I like the most. It's obviously my opinion. My opinion is the best.
What?
But still, be kind in the comment section, please. This video is only about the mainline games and no spin-off games. So no Mystery Dungeons, no Pokemon Rangers, Pokepia. And I'm not going to touch the Legends game just because even though some people do consider them mainline games, I don't want to go into them because the mechanics of the game are so different from the mainline games. I do consider them a bit apart. I'm also going to separate the enhanced game from the basic game. So for example, Ruby and Sapphire will be together, but Emerald would be its own category. And my last rule is just vibes, man. Just vibes.
Okay.
So with that being said, let me tell you which one is at the last position. At the bottom of this list, we have BDSP. I don't think I need to argue. I don't think I need to explain why BDSP is so low. It is such a bad game overall. Not because you're newer means you're better. I think it lacked so many things from everything that we got before. I don't think it was a good game. I think they went way behind with this game and it really felt like it was just a slap in the face into. Right after BDSP, I have the Let's Go games. I still don't understand why these games exist. I do think it was a bit of a waste of time. For me, I think it was because they wanted to attract the Pokemon Go players a bit more to the mainline series. I have no idea if it worked. No idea whatsoever. I just know it was a waste of time for me. The games were easy. I don't understand the point of going back to Kanto again for now playing the story that we knew. And the new story wasn't that good. It wasn't something reinvented or whatever. It was just new characters with maybe some people like it, but for me, the Let's Go games were not really necessary. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I know. Calm down, calm down. I know for some people, it is weird to have Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon under Sun and Moon, but you need to understand something. I never really liked Alola. I know some people do like the region. I never liked the concept of the kahunas instead of the gym leaders and the trials and everything. I never liked it. It never touched me. When I got the first Gen 7 games, I wasn't really happy with what we got. So when I received Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to stay in the same generations and the same thing, just like an enhanced versions of these versions, for me it was like, just again. And I've never had the fun I wanted to have with these games. I don't think they're bad games. It's just, for me, never liked it. Afterwards, I'm gonna have red, blue, and yellow. And I I'm gonna separate the enhanced version from the basic game, but I do think yellow going in first gen doesn't have that much differences for me to put it in his own category. For me, Gen 1 is a good start for a Pokemon game, but isn't a game that you would play 15, 20 years later. I played that game 2 times maybe, and I was really old, so I cannot add the nostalgia up to it. I can tell you they're not bad, but they're not super extraordinary. Back in the days when you played that game, I'm pretty sure it was amazing, but with everything that we got today, the games just feel boring, and I don't think I could replay them again just because they feel so slow and so many things missing. I know that's the point, it's the first game. Not because it's the first that means I should like them, it's the best. For me, they were just not that special. Gold, silver, and crystal. Just like the first gen, the second gen was made as a continuity to the first gen. So nothing really was added more, but it did have some good upgrades for me to put it above Gen 1. I don't think it were that amazing, but they were needed. Some things were needed in that game. Like the nerf to the psychic type. Gen 2 was definitely a good follow-up to Gen 1, but the arguments I used for Gen 1 will come back for Gen 2. I just don't think today I could replay these games more than once. Sun and Moon. I can't explain why I like them more, I just do. Like I said, I think it's because they were the first I received from the Gen 7, so for me, they were still fresh, even though I did not like the concept. Alola is definitely not my favorite region. I just like them a bit more than the games before in the list, but Sun and Moon are definitely not my favorite games in that list, that's for sure. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I love Gen 6. I do think it's an amazing generation with so many things that were added into the game and the mechanics of the game at the times. I do love them, and I did enjoy watching some VGC competition at the time, I remember. I just like the games coming afterward a bit more than these ones, but I do think Horus was not a bad game. I love the fact that they took back Owen into a more futuristic and sports-like concept. I I love the Delta episode with the Mega Rayquaza. That was amazing as well. All the new Mega Evolutions, there's so many things were added. I just hated the fact that they removed also so many things from Emerald. And I don't like when they do a remake and they just remove things that we added in enhanced version. We should have had Battle Frontier. I do hope one day we see a Battle Frontier. X and Y. Let me tell you something. One thing, Mega Evolution. I personally think if it wasn't for the fact that these games are too easy, X and Y would be fan favorite. Like I said, I love the game mechanics of Gen 6. I love how it worked. The story of X and Y was actually pretty good. I love the villains team. I love the new Pokemon that they added. Mega Evolution was busted. And I still think to this day is the best new mechanic that they added to the game. I think Sword and Shield being so high on my list would get people a bit weird out. But you need to understand, I don't like that game necessarily for like the whole mechanic of the game, but more of the atmosphere that it gave. I love football. It's one of my favorite sports to watch. So when I came into this game knowing that it was based in England and having this sense of sport coming into this game was something so different that we had before. Pokemon Battle in that game have so much more impact as a sport than anything else. Making Animal Fight as a sport is still illegal, but that's okay. We don't talk about that. So having all the music and the chants in the stadium and just, you know, having that sports-like vibe to the game was something I really enjoyed. I do think that's why I like it so much. I still go back and play that game and feel the music and just feel the stadium just because it was something unique. I do think they should continue on that way just to give that sport vibe from the anime back into the games. Scarlet and Violet are the most recent games. I do think I have a recency bias, and that's because I was pleasantly surprised when I got these games. I was so ready to be disappointed with Scarlet and Violet, and I like them. The whole concept was super fun. I do think they could have just used it a bit more from the concept of past and future. I just think they were stamped on the Pokemon games, and you don't use it more than Paradox Pokemon. But I liked it. The game was not too easy, the champion forgettable, but not too forgettable. I loved everything about the game except the champion. Too many bugs. I do think I have some recency bias on that game. Diamond and Pearl. This is my first ever Pokemon game. Gen 4 is my first generation. Pokemon Pearl is my first Pokemon game. Even nostalgia is not going to save them from being super boring as Pokemon game. And what I mean by that is 151 Pokemon is definitely not enough. Especially when your Pokedex is filled with water type Pokemon and bug type Pokemon. What could I do with 2 fully evolved fire type?
What? No way.
Not fucking much. And you want a fire specialist in your Elite 4? Nintendo, are you fucking okay? I love Team Galactic. I love getting my ass fucking destroyed by Cynthia, but 151 Pokemon is not gonna make it, I can tell you that. Ruby and Sapphire. For me, the Owen region is just too peaceful. It's a peaceful region with all the biomes and the nature. I'm a big fan of nature. I love hiking and going to just enjoy the sound of nature. And being in Owen just feels like that. And that's why I love these games so much. Love the new Pokemon that they added at the time. And for me, they were still different. It's the home region, my favorite Pokemon, Gardevoir, so I have to like it, you know? That banger song when you open the game and just hear that Little Root Town song is just wow.
Oh my God! Wow!
Wow. Everything about Owen is about peace and calmness and just being there and enjoying what you see and what you have. So Ruby Sapphire definitely deserve that place on the list. Fire Red and Leaf Green. For me, if you want to play Kanto, these are the perfect games to do it. They are being fucking milked by Nintendo, that's for sure. But not because they're bad games, because they're good games. I do think that they age super well. If you take that game today, give it to someone that only played like Scarlet and Violet, I do think they could have fun with Fire Red and Leaf Green. I do think they are really good game with a good attention to details. And for me, Fire Red and Leaf Greens were something that were needed to just boost back again Pokemon. It didn't need that, but I do think it helped it a bit more. Just a bit more. Because Fire Red and Leaf Green is just goated. And Trainer Red is... it's Trainer Red. What do you want to do? It's Trainer Red. I don't have much to say about Pokemon Emerald. It's just the culmination of Generation 3. And I think everything that was added in that generation were perfectly mixed in Emerald. And I do think that's why it's a really good game. Plus, having a level 70 Rayquaza for the Pokemon League is just... what a dream! What a dream, right? Platinum will stay as the best version of Sinnoh till this day. Even after BDSP, If you want to play Sinnoh, go play Plat. It's the best version. Everything that they added in that game, the Pokemon wise, the Battle Frontier, was just amazing. There was such a good variety of Pokemon. The story was well mixed. Again, I love the fact that they nerfed the game a bit because Cynthia was fucking impossible, but in that game it's still impossible, not at the same level. The enhanced version was much needed for the Sinnoh region, and I do think till this day Platinum is the best version of Sinnoh we can have. That's why it's so high on this list. Black and White, by far the best storyline game. The story of Black and White is unbeatable, unmatchable. It's like something in that game is so mature. And I remember when I received Black and White, and that's why I like it so much. I was at a point when I wanted to play more mature games, but I didn't want to leave Pokemon behind. So getting Black and White just gave me that sense of maturity that I needed, but still in my favorite game. Understand? That's why I love Black and White. Love the new concept of like introducing 3D but not in 3D. You know, it was still like with pixels and everything, it was still in 2D, but have different camera angles, and the movement of the sprites was just something super interesting. I don't like the fact that they cut it a lot of Pokemon in that region, but it was still a really fun region to play. I love Unova. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The best remake games ever made. Except the weird curb level that they decided to keep in that game. It's kind of weird. I don't understand why they do that and why they did that, but it's still a really good game. Heart Gold and Soul Silver is like the culmination of Gen 4. I love how they added everything to this point, which just added perfectly just to blend together in such an harmony. Love it. Just love it. Love the legendaries. It was my first time touching Ho-Ho and Lugia, and for me they felt like amazing legendaries, and the stories behind everyone and the concept and the characters and everything that they added and the following Pokemon. Just too good. Lance, amazing champion. Trainer Red, amazing battle. Got my ass kicked for the first time, but still an amazing battle. Everything about that game is just chef kiss.
Oh my God!
Maybe controversial, maybe not, but my most liked Pokemon games are Black and White 2. For me, nothing is gonna match them, ever. I don't think any Pokemon game will have the same amount of love that I have for Black and White 2. Everything good about Black and White 1 were in these games, but they added so much more. More Pokemon, more stories, more characters, more fights, more 3D, there's more everything.
Huh?
More of the region, more things to do, and honestly just love the post-game area, the post-games you could do, fighting Kyurem, and it was just, these games were just my heart. They were my whole childhood. I love Black and White 2. I don't think I'll ever love a Pokemon more than Black and White 2. And honestly, that intro for Iris. One of the best boss intro in the video games history of all time. Come on my DS, I was flabbergasted. I was like, what the f***? I remember I kept restarting my DS just to see that intro. Took my ass kicked by Iris, of course, but I do think just seeing that intro was too nice. If you want to tell me that my list is crazy and I have no taste at all in video games, you can comment down below what is your favorite Pokemon games. If you want to see more of my stupid self and want to see what I think in life about video games and you like that video, you can just leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. My name is Benz. Ciao, ciao.